everything in the bag, and as soon as I saw the firearm, I feared for my life.
A pawn shop employee opens fire at an armed robber. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brad Johansson. 2 suspects are now in custody after a crime that shut down a local neighborhood.
This started about noon on Monmouth Street in Newport, where Anjanette Levy joins us now live with exclusive video. Anjanette.
That's right, Cammie, and we found out that more than a dozen shots were fired inside the Easy Cash pawn here on Monmouth Street. I spoke with that store employee who fired the shots, and he said he was simply trying to save himself and his boss from possibly being killed. Only Local 12 News was there as Newport police found Sahdi Cunningham hiding in a garbage can in a yard off of East 8th Street. An employee at the Easy Cash and Pawn says he fired at him during a robbery.
You're like completely sideways, bro.
I was talking to my boss. Next thing I know, I look over and there's somebody there with a black mask on with a bag, and I saw a firearm.
The employee asked not to be identified. Surveillance cameras captured the encounter.
He said, everything in the bag, and as soon as I saw the firearm, I feared for my life.
That's when the employee says he fired to protect himself and his boss. Police say a masked Cunningham took off with Roger Williams. A school resource officer spotted their SUV and chased them. The pair crashed in an alley off East 8th Street. We arrived soon thereafter.
We have the stuff that was taken from the store at this time. We have 2 in custody. This guy got shot in the arm that we're picking up right now.
Chief Tom Collins says a canine dog tracked Sahdi Cunningham to a garbage can where he was hiding. The bag of stolen stuff found on a roof. Neighbors were somewhat stunned by what was going on.
Looked down the alley, saw a female get out of a vehicle, had the cop had his gun drawn and asked her to get down multiple times, and then he ended up tackling her. And I'm at the same time trying to yell at my wife and daughter to stay in the car, stay in the car.
Police say Williams was actually wearing a wig and looked like a woman. No neighbors were hurt, and that store employee is now trying to come to terms with what happened.
I'm a little shaken up trying to go through the events in my head.
And thankfully, that store employee and his boss were not hurt. Now, we found some interesting information in court records. According to some documents filed, Sahdi Cunningham actually pawned his PlayStation here at the pawn shop back in July. So it would appear that he was familiar with this particular pawn shop. And we should mention that was a car alarm going off there, so no big deal. Reporting live in Newport, Anjanette Levy, Local 12 News. Cammie, back to you.
That would make anyone jump, Anjanette. Thanks very much. Cunningham and Williams now both in the Campbell County Jail.